What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Driver Mod. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Anthony. This is my 2016 GT350. Today we're going to be doing a modification on it. We are pleased to announce and welcome Soler Performance to the channel, to the build. They sent us this brand new throttle body. So what we got from them was their brand new GT350 specific 91mm throttle body. See all the intricate details on the throttle blade itself. They did a really nice job with all those fine details. As you can see, made in the USA. They're headquartered in Alabama. And this throttle body is actually going to give you 20% more airflow than the stock GT350 throttle body. They also sent us their Soler Performance electronic throttle controller, so we're going to also install that on the GT350 as well. And we've also got some installation instructions. This is going to show you how to remove and install the new throttle body, as well as there's a relearn procedure. So here is the brand new 91mm throttle body out of the bag from Soler Performance. This is a brand new part that's been reworked and widened and bored out to give you 20% more airflow than the stock GT350 throttle body. 4mm may not sound like much, but when it's an overall diameter and circumference of a round object, it does equate to 20% more airflow as tested. So now with the GT350, why would you want to put a throttle body on this car? So the GT350 has a flat plane crankshaft. That's no surprise to anyone. Everyone who knows what this car is knows that's what it has. So to answer the question of why would you want to put a bigger throttle body on this car when the car already makes 526 horsepower, 8,200 RPM? Well, the reason for that is due to the modular design of the Voodoo engine, because it is based off of the 5.0 Coyote platform. The modular design limited what Ford could do with the intake manifold. This intake manifold and the intake system, though it does make good power and it peaks out about 7,800 RPM, because it is a shared plenum between the two banks versus an individual plenum for each bank like every other flat plane crankshaft in existence has, the intake system is the biggest limiting factor on a stock car with all the emissions devices. So putting a bigger throttle body on the car is going to allow more air to come into the engine and hopefully give you some power. Now, of course, without a tune, you're not going to receive the maximum benefit of a larger throttle body, but you will see some gains. You'll pick up some throttle response, and then you can have a tune and take it the next step. So we're going to show you how to install your GT350 throttle body from Soler Performance. We're going to show you how to do the relearn process. Now, before we get started on this install, definitely leave a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for tuning back into this install. I know you guys love the GT350 content, so we're here to give it to you. If you want to buy a GT350 throttle body or anything from Soler Performance, they did leave us a promotion code for you guys to use on their website, and it is simply TDM350. So definitely go to their website, solerengineering.com. Look at what they have to offer, and anything you want to get, add it to your cart, hit checkout, and then there'll be a spot to add the promotion code TDM350. Now let's get to the install. Now, installing a throttle body on your GT350 is very straightforward. You don't need very many tools at all. You're going to be reusing the OEM hardware for the clamps and the mounting bolts for the throttle body itself, and then you also need a flat blade screwdriver, a basic socket set. That is all you need to get this job done. And if you do have any questions, you can always refer to the provided instructions that they have sent with the throttle body. All right, so the first step in this process, obviously, get your hood open. You're going to want to do this with the engine's fairly cool. That way you don't risk burning yourself. Once you're in this state, you can go ahead and we're going to release all the evap lines and emission lines and PCV lines off the intake system. We have the Ford Performance oil separator, so this next step, you will want to release that from the actual oil separator itself just to give you some more clearance. Next, we're going to disconnect the electrical connector that goes to the mass airflow sensor behind the air filter. You're just going to pull up on these two retaining clips, and then to release the mass airflow sensor, there's a red clip, safety clip. You're going to pull that back with like a pocket screwdriver or a pick, and then you can reach down there and depress it and pull it off. Now we're going to release the airbox housing from the chassis itself. There's a 10mm down here, but then also if you have the Ford Performance oil separator, you will have to remove that 10mm as well. Once you get those two removed, now we can go ahead and release the clamp that holds the intake piping to the throttle body. Now you can do that with either a flat blade screwdriver or a 7mm socket. Just back the clamp off, you know, like 8 to 10 turns will be good enough. Now this entire intake pipe, filter, and air housing box can all come out as one piece. So just pull back on the intake pipe from the throttle body. If you have the oil separator, you're going to have to maneuver that and kind of bend it out of the way. And once it clears that, then you can come straight out and up. And kind of rotate it so you can get the snorkel out. And that's going to reveal your throttle body right there. So in order to get the throttle body out, we've got the Ford Performance oil separator on the passenger side, so we're going to need to release that line. So that we can access the electrical connector. Again, it's got a red tab, locking tab on the top of the connector. Just pull it back and compress the connector. You can pull it off the throttle body. All that's left to do is remove these 4 8mm bolts. Don't lose those or misplace those. You're going to be reusing those with the new throttle body. This is the first time the throttle body's come off the car since new. As soon as you break that last one free, the throttle body weight is going to want to separate it from the intake manifold. So just take your time and be ready to catch it. Just finish backing the last one out by hand so that you can use the other hand to hold the throttle body. Now make sure you pay attention to the gasket. Make sure it's not rolled or pinched or comes out of this groove, because you're going to reuse the factory gasket. However, at this point, if you do want to replace the throttle body gasket, by all means, go ahead and do that now. So this is your OEM stock GT350 throttle body. It is 87mm, and I can already see where all that metal that's taken out of the Soler Performance throttle body. We're going to go compare those side by side now. I'm not really sure how well this is going to show through the camera, but the side-by-side comparison of these two, you really see the difference of how much metal is actually taken out of the Soler Performance throttle body versus the OEM throttle body. You have a huge lip right here in the stock throttle body, and in the Soler Performance throttle body it is virtually non-existent. And then the amount of metal on the outer walls of the throttle body is shaved and cut all the way back. It's a very clean through and through compared to the stock throttle body. Definitely looking forward to see what kind of throttle response we're going to get out of this. So now that you've seen these side by side and compared and contrasted them, let's get this new one on here and say good riddance to 87mm throttle body. So to install your new Soler Performance throttle body, you're going to want to place the throttle body and position it and hold it by hand, and then take a couple of the bolts and start them by hand. Turn them by hand as much as you can. This is just going to help get everything aligned so that you can then go ahead and tighten everything down, and everything will be nice and even. Snap them down, go in a diagonal pattern. I like to just get everything snugged up first. Once you've got everything snugged down, then you can go ahead and go in that diagonal pattern again and just tighten tighten and snug everything down. Once you get the throttle body all tightened down, now you can go ahead and reassemble everything. We're not going to walk you step-by-step process on how to do that. I've got other videos showing you how to do that when I did like the Archetype Racing oil balancing lines. But just do the exact reverse process that you did to get here and you'll be good to go. Now we're going to show you how to do the relearn. So to perform the relearn process after installing the Soler Performance Throttle Body, just going to go ahead and get in the vehicle and you're going to let it idle for 3 minutes. Once you've let the vehicle idle for 3 minutes after installing the throttle body, you're going to go ahead and cut the ignition and then repeat that step one more time. So we're going to restart the vehicle and let it idle for another 3 minutes. And then just let that idle for 3 more minutes. Now once you complete the idle and shut down 3-minute process twice, so start it up and shut it down twice and let it idle for 3 minutes in between. The last step in this process is a lengthy step, and it's not going to really be completed over one day. It's going to be completed over the next couple drive cycles. So it says drive normally when you can, and at 44 miles an hour or greater, you're going to let the vehicle, you're just going to let off the throttle and let the vehicle decelerate naturally and coast to a stop and idle. So you're probably going to want to find some open road that you can go ahead and do a couple of these. I want you to do that 4 times for the next 50 to 100 miles, divided into 5 to 10 driving cycles. So you're going to do 5 to 10 driving cycles where you're going to do this process of accelerating to over 44 miles an hour and letting it coast to a stop 4 times. So that's 1 drive cycle. You're going to need to do that 5 to 10 times. And you're going to want to let it cool down in between. So this is going to be a multi-length process. This is all going to be irrelevant if you are going to get a tune with this. Always to get the maximum out of any sort of modification, a tune is going to be required, but this process will allow you to negate the need for a tune. You'll still get some sort of gain out of it, but you're not going to get obviously the max potential that you would with a tune. The reason you're able to do that on modern cars now is because most are equipped with wideband oxygen sensors. So that allows the computer to kind of learn that, hey, I'm running a little bit lean, I need to add more fuel. So over time, the computer will be able to compensate for the added airflow. You're just not going to get the maximum output that you would normally get with a tune, or if the computer was expecting 91 millimeters width on the throttle body versus 87. So now we're going to go ahead and perform a couple of these drive cycles now, but we're going to have to repeat this over the next couple days. I'm actually about to take off for Norway tomorrow, so we're not even going to be able to complete this full rundown of accelerating and decelerating to a stop cycles. So it's going to have to be completed when I get back from Norway. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you liked the video and install and product. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to check out solerengineering.com and use that code TDM350. New to the market, so definitely you can be one of the first ones to have it installed on your car and be one of the first ones to have a Soler Performance Throttle Body on your GT350. They also have throttle bodies for other platforms, Mustang 5.0s, C8 Corvettes. So go check out what they have to offer. Use that code, save yourself some money. And last but not least, thank you to Lewis and the entire Soler Performance team for giving us the opportunity to give you an install video on this product. Greatly appreciated. You guys at Soler Performance are awesome. I know you've worked with Matt from Rear Wheel Drive and GT Rally for a long time. You've sponsored the rallies for quite a few months now, so thank you. So definitely check out Soler Performance, check out their lineup, check out their inventory, pick up one of their throttle bodies or throttle body controllers and enjoy the increased drivability, throttle response, and power that you'll get with their products. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video here at the Driver Mod.